I'm Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. It's International Women's Day and we dedicate our entire show to it.
I believe finding your passion is the secret.
We speak to some exceptional Turkish women and ask them about their stories of success. We reflect on the impact of the Me Too movement.
I can do and be anything I want to be.
3, 2, 1.
Never be afraid of your own success.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
And we asked some of the fierce women working here at TRT World for advice on overcoming obstacles. Well, at the top of our newsfeed, International Women's Day. Now in its 108th year, it's a day to celebrate and honour women around the globe. And it all began as an idea of a German socialist in the early 20th century. Here's Akanksha.
March 8th, International Women's Day. A moment to show solidarity grew out of socialist movements in the early 20th century. It was internationalized in 1910. After Clara Zetkin, a German socialist, suggested it at a conference in Denmark. In 1975, the United Nations officially declared March 8th as International Women's Day. Rallies are organized and demonstrations held around the world to demand equality and justice.
I have been protesting since 1975, so I love this. I love the youth here together. I love it. It's very good.
And in International Women's Day's 108th year, social media is an indispensable way for people to organize their action.
Join us in celebrating sheroes who dare to break barriers, disrupt unjust systems, and think outside the box to build more inclusive societies.
In the last 12 months, Me Too has spread and gained strength. It began as a way of women showing their support with others who have been sexually abused and discriminated. Millions of women shared their stories. Me Too has evolved and developed, taking down some powerful men along the way, and is now as much a statement of tolerance and understanding as it is a rallying cry to action. While the movement created a lot of awareness, it's not clear how much it will translate into real change in the lives of women.
And as I've seen more and more of this world, what struck me is that no matter how different the places I've visited may appear, they all have one thing in common, and that thing is inequality. Let's remember that women and girls face some of the worst discrimination in the world. Today, 330 million women and girls are living on less than $2 a day.
The gender gap, pay gap, inequality and violence against women, to name but a few, are issues that remain to be fought and overcome. The women's movement has come far, but there is still a long way to go.
Now, women around the world, and of course here in Turkey, are also making their mark. In honour of Women's Day, Bahçeşehir University in Istanbul held an event featuring several accomplished women from various fields. We sent our Adishewa Josh to speak with some of them. The first up is Bengi Kutashebe, a famous pastry chef who tells us about the story behind her success.
Hi, I'm Bengi Kutashebe. I'm from Istanbul, Turkey. I have a bakery called Fırın in Göktürk, Istanbul, and I make 3D cakes that don't look like cakes pretty much, and I have these bakery items that are delicious. The labor in the kitchen is very hard. I mean, you have to lift heavy things, I mean, it's really warm, it's only males. I mean, the first time I ever was in the kitchen was I had to work with 40 males, and I was the only female. And it's difficult, and they're nervous around you, you're nervous around them, and when you're the only female, it makes it difficult. And for, so many years, it was only males. And now, I think for the past 5 years, 5 or 10 years, there have been a lot of culinary schools, in Istanbul especially, so women could go into these schools and go into kitchens. Before that, it used to be a profession for males only, and it was taught from like fathers to sons, and women were not allowed in the kitchens. They could only cook at home. And now, there are a lot of successful female chefs in Istanbul. And I'm one of them. Yeah. I teach a lot of them. I have amazing women on my team, and especially for, I think, pastry chefs, it's a lot easier for us because I don't do a la carte. I don't have to work as long hours as a la carte kitchens do, and we can sit down for longer, or we can like decorate cakes. It makes it easier for women as well. So,
you know, process is not what's very obtainable out there in terms of how you actually overcame your obstacle. What's one secret you would love to share with young women who look up to you, who want to be like you on a day like this? You're looking for inspiration. You
have to work really hard.
Day-to-day.
There's no secret. There's no secret.
Other than hard work.
It's hard work. It is what it is. You can't give up. I mean, there's going to be a lot of obstacles, and being a woman is the least of them. You have to work really hard. It's not about being a male or a female in the workplace. It's about working really hard, not giving up, being honest to yourself and to your work, and not giving up. That's what it is.
Let's take a look at some other things that caught our eye on Women's Day today. The first all-female spacewalk has been announced by NASA. Christina Koch and Anna McLean will be guided by an all-female flight crew in what NASA say is just coincidental scheduling. NASA say that 34% of their workforce are women. These spacewalks are set to take place on the 29th of March. There are a number of projects around the world aimed at teaching boys to be better men. These young men in India are not only learning cricket, but also being taught how to treat women respectfully. It's run by an organisation called Population Council and has been running since 2013. Now, our second feature profile of Turkish Room today is Gonkil Bilgan, an entrepreneur who went back to work after taking a career break. She's founded a company that now helps other women looking to re-enter the workforce. Adishewa spoke to her about the secret of her success.
Hello, my name is Göknil Bigan. I am a social entrepreneur. After having my second baby, I decided to, give a career break. But it was not easy. I stayed at home for about 1.5 years, and that was not it's not for me. I was very, passionate about the civil society, continuing my career in a non-profit organization. Mm-hmm. And there was this need because, there are many experienced and well-educated women out there who somehow, gave a career break voluntarily. We decided that, we should maintain maybe a system, establish a system that we can give support for these women to come back to the workforce. Most of us face discriminations because it's not, when you look at the CVs, 2 years career break, 3 years career break, it looks like you're not maybe very, how do you say that, very close to the ongoing business life, so they prefer the women who are, just in the workforce. But I think it is about finding really something you love and, be very determined about it and pursuing that.
For women who are trying to come back to the workforce, what advice do you have for them? And, whatever the situation they're facing, what one secret you have to share?
Soul-searching period is very critical, I think, when they decide what they want to do in life. When they find their passion, it is more easier.
Okay, around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Friday. A British woman has been given diplomatic protection 3 years into her incarceration in Iran. Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe is accused by the Iranian state of being a spy. She denies that charge. Now, the British decision to raise her status now means that her case becomes one of a dispute between the UK and Iran, a far more serious step. But whether it will achieve what Ms. Ratcliffe and her family want remains to be seen.
But we don't want to see women rise only on the basis of others doing worse. We want everybody to do better.
Well, Australia's Prime Minister is facing criticism for those comments. Scott Morrison chose today, an International Women's Day event, to say that. His clumsy quote has been taken as speaking to people who fear women making more of themselves. Now, why Morrison feels the need to mansplain on International Women's Day is anybody's guess. The chair of an influential business group in the UK says that firms are lying about finding it difficult to recruit women and ethnic minorities. Charlotte Valeur is the chair of the Institute of Directors and said she will call for new laws which would force firms to improve their diversity. People have been protesting in Pakistan, calling for an end to honour killing and greater gender equality. The killing of women and girls by families because of shame is endemic in parts of tribal Pakistan, and the government there and NGOs are working to try and educate people and protect those who are vulnerable. Now, Mexico has one of the largest gender employment gaps in the world. Some of the reasons are high levels of gender inequality and violence against women, but work is ongoing to change that. Here's Valeria Leon from Mexico City.
Mia Cook Rowing is the newest women-only workspace in Mexico. It opened 2 months ago and it's part of a growing trend in the capital city. In only 2 years, 4 women-led offices have opened.
We know that there are a lot of women doing incredible things around Mexico and in other parts of the world, but we don't know each other. So there are not so many spaces that are only designed for women to meet each other and to talk about our projects and to connect with other women.
According to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, Mexico is the only country in Latin America where more women start businesses than men. Ana Karen Orozco launched her own design firm and exports indigenous textiles.
I would start by myself, all of my projects. It would be harder for me alone. So here I think it's like, I have a lot of support, you know.
If these shared workspaces succeed, more women won't just earn a living. They'll also be inspiring others.
And last up today, we wanted to hear from some of the wonderful women who work here at TRT World. Meet Adishewa, Soraya, Melinda and Stavrula.
I can do and be anything I want to be.
3, 2, 1.
Never be afraid of your own success.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, the best thing about being a woman is red lipstick.
You define yourself. If you want to be a mother, be a mother. If you want to stay at home and raise your children, take care of your husband, do that. If you want to go to the moon, go to the moon. Don't let anybody define you.
Live in the consciousness of both Australians. I think women too often feel like they need to be appreciative of the opportunities they're given. So when they are put in a position, they don't feel confident enough to ask for what they're worth and ask for what they really want. So I think all women should learn the art of asking, because if you don't ask, you'll never get it.
Be afraid of your own success. Approach your goals with passion, because people can't ignore passion. And always remember to practice humility and kindness, because despite popular belief, these traits will get you far and uplift others in the process.
This shows that all the governments, when you continue to progress in your career and your personal life, you start to enter into places where there aren't a lot of people who either look like you or sound like you. And there is the pressure to want to look like your environment. You cannot fall for that. You have to stay true to who you are and just continue to be good. And it's just a matter of time. People always come around.
Turkey says the European Union hasn't upheld its end of... As a journalist, the biggest obstacle I've overcome is just being taken as seriously as my male colleagues. In my early career, I think all the big stories were always given to my male colleagues who were equally the same age and of the same experience. And the women got to do all the fluff stories and the colour stories. And it took, I think, a long time for us to convince our news director that the women could do just as well as the men on the hard stories. You're a journalist.
It is about, I think, humanity. Humanity. I think when we reach for one another and give a hand up, I think we all benefit from it as a human race.
Well, that will be all from the newsfeed. Remember, you can reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter and YouTube, and you can follow me on Instagram. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again very soon.